It's mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, my name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody all over the world that actually subscribes to my show and show me love. And I just thank you guys, because without you guys, there wouldn't be no legends. In the House of the Legends, I just happened to be browsing through my page one day, and through curiosity, I decided to contact this person. And I found that she got a whole lot of things going on. And she has a track that we're going to play later on. And in the House of the Legends, I give you Michele Ayers. What's going on, Michele?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm so blessed to have you on my show. I've seen a lot of things that you do. But let's take it back a little bit to childhood. How do you actually started developing your crafts?
Oh
And,
my
and actually who
goodness.
inspired you?
Well, I definitely was inspired by church and I'm just gonna let that fall. I definitely was inspired by singing in church and Aretha Franklin and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That and so mostly her, Shaka Khan, my parents, and my uncle was a musician as well. So
Okay, so you
very
grew up in a musical realm and stuff.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
And so when you got older, were you inspired to say to yourself, well, I want to do something recreational with my life? Can you talk about a little bit about that?
I pretty much sang my whole life. Yeah, I pretty much sang my whole life all the way through school. I actually studied music through the East Orange School District, East Orange, New Jersey.
Right.
And it was just something that I'd done. I started singing professional. I got my first record contract in 1988, Jump Street Records, produced by the group Blaze, Kevin Hedge,
Okay.
with
Okay.
the
Okay.
song Another Lover. That was my first debut, but I have been singing my whole entire life. As a matter of fact, I believe I met them in the legendary Mikael Muhammad recording studio, the guy that made a lot of hits for Cool in the Game,
Okay.
and he had a recording studio there. And so at the time, I was dating G. Keith Ayers, and he was like, "Oh, I want you to come in the studio and do like a reference track."
Right.
So when I got there, I had no idea where I was at, but I saw a young man. He was engineering, two young men. One of them was Chris Herbert, which is Vincent Herbert's elder brother. He was there, and Kevin Hedge was the engineer at the time. And they were just doing their music project there and engineering and working and doing everything there at the time. So when they heard me do the reference, I had to be no more than 16, 17 years old. And I think Kevin's younger than me. And it was like, we're working on something, and we'd love to have you to do a project with us. So I was like, oh, okay. The next
Okay.
thing I knew, a couple of years later, I saw them traveling the world doing videos, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, those are the guys that wanted me to do." And that time it was Chris Milan, uh, no, I'm sorry, Josh Milan, Chris Herbert,
Okay.
and Kevin Hedge. And finally, I ran into them maybe about 4 years later in
Hmm.
the diner in East Orange, and they was like, "Are you ready?" I was like,
Okay.
"Ready for what?" Ready to record like we promised.
Okay.
I said, you got it.
Okay.
And that's how I started in my professional career as
So,
a recording artist.
going back, were you just singing different types of music, and what was actually your love of music, and what type of music back in those days?
Well, before I met with Kevin and them, I was doing a lot of R&B and gospel. That's kind of like what I, grew up doing. R&B and gospel. That was my love. That was the first thing I knew. I didn't know a lot about house music at the time, other than my brother he was a little older than me, so he would go to the clubs and he was into it and he would play it. And I was like, that's interesting. I liked it. I was, because it was like a step, away from disco, and I love disco. So I was doing R&B and gospel, and then Kevin Hedge introduced me to house music.
Okay. So when you actually started getting into the house music, how was your emotions? I mean, was it something new to you? Was it a change from the vibes or, things like that?
Actually, no, because New Jersey's house music sound was very soulful. So I was
Okay.
already used to singing a soulful gospel feel to it. We
Right.
did real songs, you know what I'm saying? So the only thing that was different was the 4/4 on the foot. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Music itself, the songs and stuff like that, it was pretty much the same with a nice soulful R&B flow. That's what came out of that particular camp.
So your first song that you ever did, as far as house music, can you tell the viewers what the name of it is?
It was called Another Lover. And it's so funny. I was looking on Amazon the other day and I saw that Amazon was selling the single on wax for $79. I was like, wow.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, it was called Another Lover, produced and written by Blaze. I came in and I laid it down. And when the song was released, it hit the Billboard charts in 2 weeks. So it was like I went from nothing to like, oh wow, doing promotionals, doing a whole bunch of stuff. So it was pretty exciting.
That's good inspiration towards you from the beginning. And then where did it take you from there?
Oh, well, I kept on, performing all over, everywhere. And then they introduced me to Angela Ellaby, who is the founder and owner of Double Exposure. That's a public relations and media company.
Right.
So he was like a publicist for me as well as a manager. Actually, more management than anything, and I just got the rest of the stuff as a package deal.
Right.
And when I went in and met him, I actually started working for him. He offered me a job, right? Because
Okay.
I've always been, I had went to college for business, and I was always kind of business savvy, and so he saw something in me, I guess. And he was like, come here, I'm going to teach you the business. I want you to come and work
Okay.
for me as well. And that's what I did. So, and then from there, the next single that I did, it was, what was the next one? A song that I had written called Share My Love. And I actually done that with some guys out of Patterson. Oh, goodness. Smack Productions. And with that song, I got signed to Emotive Records.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So you have you do a lot of things, and which is really amazing. You also host a show. Can you tell the viewers about that?
Yes. The name of the show is New Artists Meet the Pros. And I came up with that because I wanted to help young people in the music industry. The music industry have changed a whole lot. It's never been the kindest industry, if you know what I mean. However, now we're at a place where, people are putting out music so much. And I mean, hundreds of thousands of songs are being released daily. But a lot of these people are slipping through the cracks because they don't really know how to market. They don't really know the business. They don't know anything about contracts. They don't know a lot about a lot of different things. So what I do on the show is I have people even like yourself to come on and, just give them information and teach them about the music industry, some of the things that they need to do when they're releasing music, so that you don't just be releasing music and it doesn't go anywhere. Nobody hears it. You're not charting. You're not getting anything. So we're teaching them how to do it on a shoestring budget if they don't have a budget, and how to use social media, to market themselves, and other little things that don't cost as much, but that they can do to get some traction. Well,
it's good to know that you can give fundamentals to certain basic things, which is cool because we all never ever get enough to learn about situations, especially when it comes to business. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Michele's track that she sent me, and trust me, it's hot. I'm going to play it for a while because it's cool, and I just love the way that she actually, laid this down. I mean, the whole track is phenomenal.
It's not just mine, it's on her house. This is our house.
we're back. We got Michele Ayers in the house, and that track is the bomb, girl. So
Thank
let's
you so
talk. Let's talk
much.
about the track, who produced it, and who remixed it, and give the viewer the whole scenario.
Okay. Actually, that was the wood floor mix that was done by Ricky Nelson. Ricky Nelson.
Okay.
Definitely legendary house music. Whatever, he's done so many different things, and also by Ace Beat Music. It was on the Ace Beat Music label.
Right.
So they actually did that particular track. They gave me another original version, and that mix was done by Sean Morpheus Waters, who was also a producer and a member of the legendary Force MD's group. He did
Okay.
one mix. I sent that to you as well. That's more of the
Okay.
like the R&B dance mix to it. This one was the
Right.
house version. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a house head to the core, man. So I'm gonna gravitate that first. I mean, I listen to everything else, but I love me some house music.
Oh, of course.
Let's talk about some futuristic things that you're going to get into. Like before we even get into that, let's talk about hosting, because
Okay.
everybody has a different way of hosting and things of like that. So how do you create the energy to gravitate your viewers and listeners?
Who? You know what? I just asked them. Okay. Simple. And then and I'm calm today, but I'm a little crazy too, a little bit comedic. So
Okay.
it's fun, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of energy, and we have a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? And I get different professionals to come on,
Right.
that will teach. And yeah, young people, they definitely gravitate to it because they want to learn, and they also get a chance for me to play their music. So
I believe that everybody has a story, and that's my motto. That's why I don't discriminate on my shows as far as legends and upcoming people. Because everybody has a story, and I believe everybody deserves a chance. For people that's actually getting into the craft of dancing, singing, or into the business part of the industry itself. What can you actually say to them to keep them inspired? Because sometimes there's dark spots, and everybody goes through that. So can you tell them something about that?
you know what? Reading is fundamental. Okay.
Okay.
Do your research, do your homework, do your studies. You know what I'm saying? Find out about some things that you can do. There's a lot of things, a lot of free information that's online that's quite accurate. However, this is the music industry and it's ever changing. So what you'll have to do is get into it, read, study, but continue. Is constantly changing, just like the music licensing collective. We didn't know about that until just a few years prior to. So learn about licensing, learn about publishing, learn about all of these different things, learn different ways to market, and learn how to do affordable marketing as well. If you can, because radio is can be extremely expensive. So if you have to market to some colleges, you know what I'm saying? They even have a list that you can purchase to where you can get the phone numbers, the emails, to these different colleges where their radio stations are accepting music. And then there are some other stations that will accept music, and they all now just about report. So, so that's one of the things that I can share with young people.
That's cool. What I'm going to ask you about your performances, your live performances. Let's talk about your very first performance that you ever did, and
Ooh.
in front of a whole lot of people. Tell me about that feeling. Because everybody has a different type of feeling when they're introduced to that type of level.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Okay.
My first time singing in front of a large group of people. Do you remember WNJR
No.
in Newark, New Jersey? There
No,
was a
no.
station. It was a AM radio station, but it had quite a bit reach.
Okay.
And it was WNJR. And they would used to do these large, festivals and things like that. They had something that was going on. It was like some type of gospel fest. I was literally about 3 or 4 years old. So there was a lot of people there. That was my debut. About 3, 4 years old. I've literally been singing my whole life.
You know, can you have anything that's upcoming right now that the viewers should know about? You know that as far as your schedule is concerned.
Well, I'm just now getting back to scheduling shows because, like I said, last year, my father was ill and I was taking care of him. As soon as he got on his feet, I ended up getting ill, so I wasn't able to move around as much, and I was having a problem with severe allergies, and I think it kind of like stemmed from me having COVID. You know what I'm saying? So now that I've worked on that and I've gotten that together and I'm back out there again. So I'm going to be scheduling some shows soon, but I'm also right now promoting a new release. It's a new CD. I didn't send it to you yet because I'm just waiting for it to finish being mixed. And it is called Change is Coming. Change is coming. Change is coming. That is like a gospel house type thing. But I do have a whole huge project that I'm working on. I am going to be doing the EP and then later a LP. So I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on. One of the albums is called Family Reunion. This is like different artists. It's about music that will bring families together, bring you to the cookout, help you talk about some of your ancestors or whatever the case may be. It's a collective of that. So it's going to have a lot of good house tunes on it too. So, okay. And the other stuff is just the stuff that I'm working on now for myself, you know.
Well, you know, it's been a pleasure having you on my show, and thank you for being very informative to the viewers. You know, you guys go out there and get her track and look her up, you know, and you know, support her. You know, everybody needs to be supported. You know, that's part of the unification process like that. So this has been another T-Love video production, and you guys come back again and stay tuned.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.